So let's say we are interested in details of all the employees who live at this specific address. So the address is mentioned over here, and we can easily achieve this task using this where clause. So we've got where address, and then we've defined the string which exactly matches the address in which we are interested. Um, Now that's quite straightforward because we know the exact string, but sometimes the requirement is a bit different. We are not interested in a specific address. Rather, the requirement is to find out all the rows which have address that end at SW. So you're not really bothered how the string starts, how many characters there are. You're only interested in the fact that the address ends at SW. So to achieve this kind of task, SQL provides you with a specific kind of wildcard. Now there are mainly two different wildcards, but this kind of requirement can be fulfilled by using one of the wildcards, which is a percentage sign. So it's something has happened. Let me just fix this. Okay, so one of the wildcards is a percentage sign, and you can use it something like this. So percentage SW, and that means this percentage refers to 0 or more characters. So we are not bothered if there is any character over here, if there are 2 characters, if there are 10 characters. The important thing in which we are interested is SW. So you can use this wildcard, and then rather than having a definite string, you can have a pattern matching kind of ability. And the other important thing to understand is that instead of using this equal sign, you can use another keyword which is called like. So if we make these changes and then try to run our select statement, what we'll see is that there are about 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 addresses which end at SW. So let me just run this, and I can see that there are 3 employees who live at an address that end at SW, and we can see all their details. So that is one of the wildcards. Let me just get the results back. So now we can also see that there's this word AVE. I think it refers to avenue. So there are some addresses which have avenue at the very end. So there's one address, in fact, where the address ends at avenue, and there are a couple of addresses which have avenue in the middle, right in the middle. So let's write AVE. And what we expect from this query is that it will return only one result, and that result would be this one, because over here you can see that the address ends at AVE. Now these 2 addresses also have AVE in the address, but they are in the middle. So let's just verify that by running the statement, and we can see that we have received one result. Now if I put a percentage sign at the very end, now this should return all 3 rows which have addresses containing AVE, and the fact that it would return us all the rows because of course there are 2 result sets which have AVE in the middle, but even this one which doesn't have AVE in the middle will be returned, because this percentage refers to 0 or more characters. So it's completely fine if there's nothing after AVE. It would still be um, uh, considered a perfect match. So let us see. In fact, there are 4 results. So one of them ends with AE. There's 0 characters after that, but it is a perfect match in terms of the pattern we've defined over here. And these 3 definitely, I mean, we can see some characters before AVE, we can see something after AVE. So we can use these percentage signs when we are not sure about the number of characters. We can also use these percentage signs uh, in between. So right now we have used these percentage signs to represent the starting of a character or ending of a character, but we can also use them to show to define a pattern, to define as like the middle of a pattern. So I can do something like this: AVE percentage W. So we want we and now in this kind of scenario, the last result will be ignored, because what we are saying is that we want the address to be finished at W, and we want somewhere in between, or maybe in the starting, AVE coming in the string. So what I'm really expecting is that these 3 results should appear, because all of them start with, in fact, if I do NW or SW, now what will happen is that only these 2 results will be returned, because we know there's AVE, then there is a space character, and then at the very end we have SW. So let's just verify that, and we can see that we've got 2 results, and both the results are ending at SW, and there is AVE before that. So that is one of the wildcards. The other one is an underscore, and underscore works in kind of similar fashion, but it's slightly different because it represents one character. Now that one character can be anything. It can be space, it can be one, it can be number, it can be a letter, but that has to be just one character. So if I do that, I will still see the same result. Now how can I have a different kind of scenario? So let me do a percentage over here. And now what we are saying is that it should always end with a W, and let me execute this one, and now we can see that there are 3 results, all of them ending at W. But if we have an underscore instead of percentage sign, we'll see that nothing will be returned. And the reason why nothing will be returned, because after AVE there are 2 characters in all these 3 rows. There are 2 characters, and the pattern we are defining over here, that is only looking for one pattern. So if I execute it, there's nothing going to be returned. But if we specify another underscore, now it will return all 3 results. So now we can see avenue, and then underscore, space, and then the other underscore would accommodate for N and S over here, and it will return all these 3 results. So you can use these wildcards, the percentage sign and the underscore sign, to match your column with a specific pattern, and while trying to match that pattern, you'll have to use this like keyword instead of your conventional equals sign, which you normally use in your where clause.